Hello and welcome to this introductory case study in this course, Operations and Supply Chain Management. And in this lecture, we will talk to you about a case study of becoming an excellent operational and supply chain management professional. And this is one of the most impactful areas where individual excellence has directly affected the business success. And here is a realistic, interesting case study for students like you and early career professionals anywhere in the world who aspire to become excellent operational and supply chain management professionals at an individual level. And it focuses on how one person, built the mastery in operational thinking, systems understanding, and data-driven decision making, the skills that define world-class operation leaders today. Right. So that's what we're going to do in this lecture. So let's take a look at this case study of the flow factor of becoming an excellent operations and supply chain professional. And this is about how one individual develop operational excellence and supply chain mastery through systems thinking, continuous improvement, and digital tools. And as we were saying, it is for those students and professionals who are aiming to build excellence in supply chain management as an individual themselves. And it is inspired by the real practices from Toyota, Unilever, and Dell's supply chain transformation programs. So let's dig deep into this case study. So, what was the challenge this individual was facing? Let's say this individual's name mask, face mask is Miguel. A Miguel is a 26-year-old mechanical engineer from Sao Paulo, right? And he joined a global FMCG company as a supply chain analyst. The company had a problem that threatened both profits and reputation. Despite steady sales, the on-time delivery rates had dropped from 95% to 82% in 6 months. And customers were complaining about stockouts, yet warehouses were full. And the leadership called it the planning paradox, isn't it? You have stock, you're not able to ship in time, and customers are complaining about stock. So you say, what the hell? What is wrong? And the biggest task was simple on paper but complex in reality. What was the task? Was to find out why they were missing deliveries and then to fix it. Not only simply analyze, but also to fix it. So that was a challenge for Miguel, right? So let's dig deeper into the problem. The issue was not one department's fault, right? It was a system failure, right? Sales kept inflating forecasts. Production was batching to minimize changeover costs. Warehouse was overloaded with slow moving SKUs, and transport was firefighting daily reschedules. Each function optimized its own efficiency, not the whole supply chain. And Miguel's realization was this wasn't just the operational problem, it was a thinking problem. He needed to become a kind of a operational professional who could see the whole system, analyze the flow and create harmony among moving parts. So that's the problem that as he defined and figured out later on. So what was the Miguel's framework for building individual excellence in operation in SCM while solving this problem, while handling this challenge? So he developed a personal excellence roadmap called FLOWS 5, FLOW 5 framework, right? To basically for himself to grow from reactive planner to a system optimizer and also to address the challenge. Let's see what did he do? What was the framework and what did he do? So first thing, the step in this framework was to find the flow. Basically, there you needed to be able to map how value moves through the system. And what he did was he used the process mapping tools to trace order to delivery. And he learned and he found that bottlenecks between demand and forecasting and production scheduling were there that were causing the issue. Then second step was to learn the levers where you identify key variables impacting the performance, right? And there he built a dashboard linking forecast error, work in process, and delivery time, and found forecast accuracy below 60%, causing bullwhip effect, right? And then the third step he did was to optimize continuously, and there you need to learn Lean and Six Sigma thinking. He used root cause analysis like Fishbone plus Pareto to top five late orders, and he found that 70% delays linked to changeover times in two key production lines. The fourth step for him was in his frameworks to work cross functionally, and there it would require you to collaborate across sales, production, and logistics, which was the main problem. So he set up weekly cross-functional war rooms and he created data transparency and reduced internal blame. And the last step in his framework was to uh, uh, forecast and automate with AI tools. And there he that meant basically using digital tools for predictive operation. And in that he trained himself to on Power BI and AI forecasting tools and achieved forecast accuracy of 82% using machine learning techniques. So that was the Miguel's framework, and that's what he did. What was the turning point? I think the turning point in this case was seeing the system as a living network instead of, as silos. So Miguel realized that operations excellence is not about controlling parts; it's about synchronizing the flow, right? Right from raw material to customer, one way or reverse. You need to synchronize the flow. And when he shifted from firefighting to system thinking, he stopped asking who made the mistake and started asking where is the flow breaking and why. So that was the turning point of seeing system as a living network. So what did he do in this whole thing? Well, how did he build this operational excellence through insight and integration? So Miguel implemented a three-step solution. The first part was demand supply alignment using AI forecasting. He partnered with data team to train an AI model using past 24 months data process, including seasonality and promotion, and forecast error reduced from 40% to 80%. So that was the starting point. Then second thing he looked at was the lean changeover project of using Kaizen. There he introduced SMED, single minute exchange of dice principle on production line and reduced average changeover time from 4 hours to 2.5 hours. And the last part of his key actions was integrated operations dashboard you, that can give real-time visibility. And there he combined sales, production, and logistic KPI in one Power BI dashboard. And that enabled proactive decisions of inventory and dispatch. So that's how the solution happened. So what were the results after 4 months? So once it implemented these solutions after 4 months, on-time delivery moved up from 82% to 96%. Not easy, but that happened. Forecast accuracy, as you know, as you saw already, was 60%, and that went up to 82%. Line changeover times reduced from 4 hours to 2.5 hours. Working capital inventory dropped from 45 days to 32 days. Two things together on-time delivery going up and working capital coming down along with the changeover time. So that's the beauty of uh, integrating operations and supply chain. And in terms of internal coordination, which was earlier fragmented, became collaborative and insight-driven. Right. And Miguel was recognized by leadership for turning a crisis into continuous improvement culture. So, what did Miguel think? What was Miguel's reflection? At first, he thought operations was about fixing bottlenecks, right? Because that's what traditionally we are taught. And it could be right in some times. But then he said he realized that it was learning how the systems breathe. Once he saw the flows, everything else aligned, right? So, what are the key lessons for students like us, you and me included, aspiring to excel in operations and supply chain? You know, there are a few core skills that you need to develop individually. One of them is systems thinking, which basically means seeing how supply, demand, and process interact. And there you should be able to map any process from input to delivery and identify waste. The second core skill that you need to learn is data driven decision making, of using analytics to guide operational choices. And there you need to learn Excel, Power BI, or Tableau for real time dashboards. Then you need to learn Kaizen for continuous improvement. And then that means solving small problems daily through the teams. And there for that, you need to run micro projects to eliminate one efficiency per week. The fourth skill is cross-functional collaboration, where you align multiple departments, and there you need to be able to join meetings beyond your area, understand end-to-end flow. And finally, the skill that you need to develop is AI and automation awareness, of leveraging predictive tools for planning. And there you need to learn basics of AI forecasting, robotics process automation, and digital twin. So these are some key lessons for people like us. So let's recap what is Beagle's growth journey from planner to a flow architect. He started as a task executor, and his role he thought was to follow process instruction, and he focused on accuracy and compliance. And he used to ask questions like, "Am I executing my task right?" which most of us do at this point of time. From there, he became a problem solver, where he started identifying inefficiency, doing the root cause analysis, and asking, why is this problem breaking? Why is this problem occurring? Why is this process breaking? And from there, he went one step up to process improvement by suggesting small, repeatable improvements, and by learning lean and Kaizen. And his questions changed to, how can we make it smoother? Uh, Fourth stage was to become a system thinker, of understanding interdependencies with the focus of learning supply chain analytics. And the questions change to reflect. The questions change is, what is the impact upstream and downstream? And finally, he reached the stage of a flow architect, of designing integrated data driven systems by learning AI and forecasting strategy. And the question there, how can I make this system self optimizing? So that was Miguel's growth journey from a planner to a flow architect. So let's see a learning activity that can help you uh, also learn this integration of operations and supply chain management, the flow challenge. And here our goal is to build operational and analytical thinking through system mapping and AI-based insights. And the things you need to do is to pick a real or simulated product, bottled water, coffee, t-shirts, or anything around you. Map the end-to-end supply chain from supplier to manufacturing to distribution to customer. Identify at least three potential bottlenecks in terms of delay, cost, and quality. And use a digital tool like Excel Problem Solver, Power BI, AI Simulator to model one scenario from improvement. And present your case in the format saying the problem, the root cause, AI insight, data insight, operational action, and expected results. And reflect on what you learned about flow coordination and data driven decision making. So that's the flow challenge. So, what is the final takeaway? An excellent operations and supply chain professional just doesn't need to manage only resources, right? They need to manage the flow, foresight, and learning. At an individual level, the operation and supply chain excellence means developing three lifelong habits. One, to observe system holistically. See how the small frictions ripple across the change. Get over and look over the silos into the system. Second, quantify what matters. Use data to measure, not guesses. First thing is to figure out what matters and then to quantify. And third is to continuously learn and refine the with excellence, because the excellence in operations is built one improvement at a time. So that's the final takeaway. So what do we do next now? So we get on with looking at how to become an excellent operations and supply chain management professional by starting to look at what is operations and supply chain and how. So what are the various building blocks that you need to take, build, learn to become such an operations supply chain professional? Thank you so much for watching this introductory case study in this course, Operations and Supply Chain Management. I hope you're beginning to learn new things, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.